Stories tell of a great hero. Stories you've all heard time and again. Stories of Bim Silversnarl, the hero of balance. More than 20 years ago, he and his faithful followers traveled the Ageless realms. None can say with certainty where he came from, but many think he was sent here by Idel, the great balanced beard, and I tend to agree with them. Like a bolt from the heavens he came, and with similar power too. His quests shook this broken world. Hell, nary a troll's been seen since his arrival. But for how powerful he was, his quest was doomed to fail. And for this, he suffered a grave punishment. For not even a hero is safe from a god's wrath. And so the hero, who had gained so much power, was cast aside and forgotten, never to be seen again.
But that can't be it. That's a pretty bad ending for the story.
Aye, it is. But that's the ending we're given, so it's the ending you'll receive.
Well, can't you just make something up?
Now, you know very well that's not part of our deal, children. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's time for these old bones to get to bed. There's plenty of work to do, and I need my rest. And you best remember, not all stories can have a happy ending. And in fact, some stories never end at all.
But maybe you'll come up with an ending for tomorrow, though.
Ah, you kids. One day you'll learn.
Hello, you bearded bastards, and welcome back once again to Gomathzon. Now then, last episode we finally got to test out our audacious water trap to limited effect, very unfortunately. We spent so much time on it, but apparently during the winter, ice clogs it up and makes it fairly unusable. Not to say that it's useless or anything. The entire rest of the year it'll be absolutely fine. But as I had said last episode, I really think we need a proper military now. Not a huge one, as our population cap is fairly low. Remember, 100 dwarves is how much we can hope to see here, which we did hit last episode, but after the great cave tragedy, we're down to 91. I imagine the dwarves are still reeling. A military. We have found some metals here on the map. I imagine we could make some steel if we put our minds to it, but that's what we did in Zuludidel, and that took quite some time. It's kind of a pain in the ass to make, really. So I'm thinking the dwarves of Gomathzon have a possibly quicker, oh my goodness gracious. A second vile force of darkness has arrived. See, this is what I'm talking about exactly. The goblins now know we're here, and we need to be defended in as many ways as possible. But first, I suppose we should deal with this threat. Let's see here. First of all dwarves to the burrow, let's go. That's right, everyone get in here. Now, the drowning chamber is currently empty, so it shouldn't be a big deal to drown these goblins. This here is going to be the first real test of the drowning chamber. The goblins are moving in. Oh man, there's a ton of them too. Wow, that's surprising. Only the second siege. Bunch of beak dogs too, we haven't seen those in quite some time. 11 beak dogs and 80 goblins. All well-armed goblins too, warriors, not a slave army like the first couple of sieges in Zuludidel. They're moving in currently, so I'm going to lock up our emergency exit here, nice and tight. There we go, and over in our drowning cavern here, the drainage bridges are closed, and the pump stack is now turned off, so I'm going to open up the gates, both this lower one and the one up top, so the goblins can come down through this drowning chamber. But again, my one concern is this goblin right here. This is that mace man that was stuck up in this little dirt chamber right here. The last remaining goblin from that previous siege. I'm hoping he doesn't cause any trouble, but I guess we'll see. I don't particularly want him to come down into the fortress. I'm thinking he's just going to try to escape. Looks to be the case. You may remember that I promised the late outpost liaison that I would not let this goblin escape, and I do not intend to. So I'm going to start up the drowning chamber before he gets to the surface. It looks like this current siege's goblins are heading down the tunnel as we speak. This mace man is running past those goblins, just in a panic. They're probably like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? Hopefully he doesn't tell him about this trap here. Oh, he's almost at the surface now. And while it would be better to wait for all the goblins to get down here, I made that promise, and I intend to keep it. Alright, the levers are pulled. I hope he doesn't escape. Oh, yeah, he's not going anywhere. The gate just closed and he's down there, as well as a hearty number of goblins and beak dogs. Now we're getting this lower gate closed up. There we are. Cool. And so now we have a bunch of goblins and beak dogs stuck down here in this drowning chamber. Very good. Let's see how many exactly. Well, it looks to be 33 goblins and 12 beak dogs. Not bad. Okay then. Now we can pull this lever and start up the trap. I'm so excited about this. I mean, would you look at this reservoir here? Brimming with water. Thousands and thousands of gallons of water. Oh man. You know guys, I don't know if you've picked this up about me, but I truly love this game. Oh my. Okay, let's do this. The lever is pulled. Now I don't know where I want to look exactly. How about this goblin here, the mace man that I promised to kill? I'm gonna follow him. Here he goes, running back down. He probably smelled the fresh air for a half instant. Oh, and there's the water. Alright, he seems to be swimming pretty well. He's not drowning yet. The guy behind him is drowning. Yeah, he's not going to survive this, that's for sure. Look, all these goblins and beak dogs got forced through the fortifications down to the bottom of this cavern here. That is great, I'll tell you. Yeah, and this cavern is filling rapidly, too. It must fill up a ton straight when you first pull that lever, and then it kind of slows down. That was just a beautiful thing, really. You know, a ton of those goblins died, but this one is still hanging in there. This mace man here, swimming past the corpses of his friends here. Oh, and through the fortifications. Oh, now he's drowning. Now he's at the bottom of the cavern here, trying to get back up these stairs. Oh, if this guy survives, I'm gonna be actually fairly amused. There's no way. Oh, and he died, okay. Well, that was something. This guy is seemingly quite a toughie. Looks like he was wearing a dwarf bone earring, which is actually pretty cool. And he was also wearing a copper cap, which is fairly unremarkable. But on this copper helmet, you can see an image of a custard apple tree, which is the symbol of the Nightmare of Webbing. I've known this for some time, but I guess I never shared it with you guys, huh? A few of the drawings I've done of the goblins have featured a tree, and that's why that is. It's their symbol. At first I thought it was really lame, but you know, over time I kinda grew to like the idea. It's odd, sure, but you can make anything work if you think about it enough. Well, promise fulfilled. But unfortunately, it looks like we're still under siege. These goblins up top are just kind of standing around in this field now.
Well, what do we do now?
The gates are closed. We can't get in.
Don't worry, fellas, don't worry. The gates are going to reopen just momentarily. Got to drain this water out, as well as most of these corpses. And then you'll be good to go, no worries. Alright, drainage bridges are open. Pump stack is on. And the reservoir is being filled again. I'm really liking this system, I gotta tell you. The caverns are draining out quite quickly. Layer after layer after layer of water being sucked back up to the reservoir. Yeah, it's pretty nice. You know, for how much I enjoy using water in Dwarf Fortress, I haven't really used a pump stack effectively in the past. But this system here is really making me rethink the whole thing. It just works so well. Alright, the cavern's now all drained out. Shut off that pump stack and the drainage bridges. We'll open up the tunnel once more. There we are. Alright, now the gates are open. Come on down, fellas. I'm not sure the siege knows what it's doing now. Their leader probably died down in that cavern just then. And now the gates reopened and they're like, what do we do? I can easily understand their trepidation. Alright, doesn't look like they're doing much. They've made camp to the west of the brook here. Not sure we could do anything about that. We'll just have to keep an eye on them, I guess. This whole scenario reminds me of what I was saying before the goblins showed up. We really need a military here. Not a big one, just a small one that can deal with stuff like this. Because we have a trap that can defend against goblins that come down into the fortress, but when something like this happens, we are completely defenseless. Not to mention if something pops up underneath here down in the caves, legends are told of great beasts that still lurk in the depths. And embarrassingly enough, we still don't even have any doors in this tunnel that lead into the fortress. Yikes, huh? So Gomathzon needs a military. Alright, well my idea was to send a dwarf out as an adventurer, because the stories tell of a great hero of balance that lives nearby, and I'm sure he could help us in some fashion. I mean, after all, he was created to help the dwarven cause, but nobody's heard from him in many, many years. But we can't do that if the goblins are up here. Goblins who appear to be leaving. Ah yes, looks like the siege is over. Well, good. Well, dwarves, the time is ripe, and one amongst us has to venture out into the great open world to procure aid from the lost hero of balance. So who shall it be? Okay, now then. As we had done before in Zalutadil, I'm going to retire the fortress, just for the time being. Okay? Kind of a scary thing because you don't know exactly what's going to happen to the fortress while you're away. Your fortress has settled into the rhythm of day-to-day living, beyond your meticulous concern. And now we will start playing again. Adventurer mode. 2 weeks have passed, so we're going to be playing as a dwarf. A dwarven peasant. How about? From the Foggy Books, which is our civilization. Now let's see, the dwarf we're sending out has to show some particular characteristics. Well, we're certainly going to want someone with linguistic ability. They need to be able to convince the hero of balance to help us. And actually, we don't have that many points left at all. So maybe we could take some points out of other stuff. Alright, so maybe he's not particularly musically inclined, with horrible memory, not much creativity or patience, and maybe with a deficit of toughness as well. But he should also be fairly agile, I'm thinking. Just because we don't want him to fight anything, we just want him to move and talk, pretty much. And how about some social awareness too? Again, to go along with the whole convincing the hero of balance to help us thing. And as for skills, we'll make him a competent persuader, as well as a adequate ambusher, so he can kind of sneak around. What else? Is there anything else? How about a dodger? A novice dodger. Sounds good. Alright, done here. Now then, we have to make sure he starts off in our fortress. Perfect. Oh, and as for a name, let's see here. Well, it should be noted too that I don't know how much I intend on using this character here. At this moment, I don't really have any plans in place. Just going to the hero of balance and seeing what aid he can give me. So I'm not sure how much thought I should put into this. Urvad fountain fights, Obak glee castles, Led Akrul Onul, tin mirror. I kind of like that. It sounds like a dwarven peasant, I'd say. Lead tin mirror. Now the last thing is gender. I think this time we're going to do a 50-50 chance. Heads, I'm a male. Tails. So this time we're going to be a female. Led Akrul Onul, a female dwarven peasant. Now let's take a look at her. She has a jutting chin. Her sunken, thin-irised ochre eyes are wide set. Her hooked nose is quite long. Oh my god. Her ears have large hanging lobes. Her hair is straight. Her very long hair is braided. Her somewhat narrow head is short. Oh my god. Her eyelashes are quite long. Her hair is buff. Her raw umber skin is slightly wrinkled. Quite a character, I'd say. Oh my. She personally has a deep respect for animals, plants, and the natural world. Odd for a dwarf. She dreams of seeing the great natural places of the world. Huh, well that's good. She has a noticeable lack of perseverance. Yeah, we're sending a dwarf out to do an important task. That's exactly what we want. She can handle stress. Well, that's good at least. Well, I'll say Led looks like the perfect dwarf to go out on this mission, honestly. Yeah, she's a little out there, but overall, I think she's a good pick. Alright, Tin Mirror, let's do this. Alright, here we are, outside the front gates of Gomathzon. Well, first of all, let's take a look at our inventory. Led is equipped with a copper spear, a large copper dagger, a leopard leather backpack, water skin, some monkey leather shoes, a couple gloves, a robe, alpaca wool cap, leather dress, and some trousers. Fairly standard gear. Alright, taking a look around here, fairly standard, just as we had left it. Got some lumber, some beds that we still have not set up in bedrooms. Got some dwarves milling around, just going about their daily lives here. Alright, the home of the Hero of Balance is up to the northeast, so that's where I'm going. Just up this way. A couple dwarves milling around in this field here. Alright, I'm just gonna keep heading up to the northeast. Let's get out of here. The sooner I could find help and return, the better. Oh, hold on a second. What the hell? There's a goblin behind this rock here. Just kind of sitting here, doesn't seem to have spotted me. Spying on the fortress perhaps, that'd be my guess. Not that that actually ever happens in the mechanics of the game, but I don't see why the hell else there'd be a goblin sitting here. Little creep. Well, you know, I think this might be a good test of my skills, honestly. Well, I'm currently sneaking myself on the ground. Gonna do a little army crawl up to this guy here. I'm gonna drop my spear and get my knife. Alright, let's keep going. Quiet now. He appears to be unaware of my presence. Let's take a look at my foe here. A thick-lipped goblin. His hair is extremely long. His lips are thick. He has high cheekbones. His ears have small lobes. His slightly close-set red eyes are slightly protruding. His head is somewhat tall. His hair is violet. His skin is green. Ugly bastard. Coming right up behind him here. I am behind him. Alright, I'm gonna strike him. I guess I'll get him in his upper body. The easiest hit. I'm gonna stab him with my large copper dagger with a heavy attack. You silently stab the thick-lipped goblin in the upper body from behind with your large copper dagger, tearing the muscle, bruising the right false ribs. The dagger has lodged firmly in the wound. Gross. Alright, well I guess I'll get him again before I can escape. I'll strike him in his lower body. I'll give him a punch, just because my dagger is currently lodged in his upper body. Oh, he moved out of range. Well, I don't want him to escape from me. I'm gonna sprint after him. I managed to catch up to him, and I'm going to stab him in his head as he's running away. He moved out of range. Get over here, you bastard. Running through this brook here. He's a speedy bastard. Oh, I managed to stab him in his arm. He's fairly wounded now. I'm starting to get tired. Going uphill here. I'm still right behind him. Not making it easy, that's for sure. Alright, caught up to him again. I'm gonna slash him. Ooh, got him. Right in his back. And I got him again. Alright, and he fell to the ground from overexertion. No sense in dragging this out, I guess. Kick him in his neck. Alright, so I'm just kicking him in his head now, repeatedly. Trying to put him out of his misery. He's still trying to crawl away from me. You're not going anywhere, dude. Alright, I'm just going crazy. Oh, I killed him. Okay, good. Gonna take a little breather here. Get my energy back. Alright, from the looks of it here, he was actually naked that whole time because he had nothing with him whatsoever. Why? Just a naked goblin sitting behind a rock staring at Gomathzon. That's kind of creepy, really. You know, it seems kind of jacked up, but I think I'm gonna butcher his corpse. Alright, I got his skull. I don't know, maybe I could show this to the hero of balance just to prove to him that we're under attack from these bastards. Got some gray langurs up here. I can use any training I can get. Ah, God. Alright, this one, seems to be giving me some trouble. Shattered my fingernail. You rat bastard. Oh good, I'm overexerted too. This monkey's chasing me. Alright. He seems to have let off on his attack. It's so ridiculous. Alright, well I need some more provisions for the road. Monkey meat's gonna do just fine. The trouble is getting it out of these bastards. There we go. Oh yeah, give me that monkey meat. Delicious. Alright, so we're all full up on monkey meat. Got a goblin skull. Our copper dagger. Let's find that hero of balance, shall we? To the northeast, up these hills here. You know, it actually looks like Snarl Hill is quite some ways away. I didn't think it'd be that far away, but oh well. It said that Led enjoys exploring the natural places of this world, so that's fine for her. I guess I forgot how fun adventure mode can be. It's not too far into the day. Taking a little dip here in this pond, practicing my swimming a little bit, being very safe with it, mind you. Cleaning off some of that monkey blood too, which is nice. Oh my god. Well, there you have it. It's so ridiculous. I can't even... This game, it slays me, I tell ya. Alright, well, I guess that's the end of that adventurer. Huh, okay, well. I guess we could still use some help from the hero of balance, eh? Let's start another adventurer. Another peasant, dwarf, with some social awareness, no empathy, blah blah blah, pretty much the same stuff. Who's a fair persuader. And you know what? I'm gonna put some points in swimming. Just a little bit. There we go, for God's sake. So fairly similar to that last dwarf there, overall. And again, we're gonna start off in Legend Helm, of course. As a dwarf, Atis Delermatul. Steel Dance, that's a fine name. Choose that gender, heads for male. Tails, yet again. Female dwarf, Atis Delermatul. She is large. Her slightly large iris, copper eyes are sunken, her hair is straight, her very long hair is arranged in double braids. She has a clear voice, her narrow head is very short. Her nose is upturned. She has a narrow, recessed chin, her splayed out ears are extremely narrow. Her eyebrows are slightly low. Her pale chestnut skin is slightly wrinkled. Her hair is charcoal with a touch of gray. Interesting. Her nose bridge is somewhat concave. Tell you what, I like the look of you, Atis. I've got a feeling you're gonna do much better than Led. Certainly hope so anyways. She is curious and eager to learn. She enjoys the company of others. She isn't given to flights of fancy. She is quick to anger. I like that. She is stubborn. A good dwarf. She has a greedy streak. A really good dwarf. Atis is Steel Dance, the female dwarven peasant. Alright, Atis, what do you think? Let's do this. And this time we're gonna stay away from that water. What do you say? Okay, outside Gomathzon yet again. Let's take a look at what we got here. A copper dagger, copper spear, silk backpack, leather shoes, some gloves, a toga, a dress, a cap, some trousers. Fairly standard yet again. Alright, and we're off again, towards Snarl Hill and the home of the hero of balance. Or the purported home of the hero of balance anyways. Across this brook here. It's currently the 2nd of Fellsight, 1055. Late spring. I imagine it's starting to get warm outside, a bit muggy perhaps. Not the most ideal traveling weather, but not bad either. What's this down here? It's another damn goblin. A slim goblin. And again, he's naked. That is very strange. This is all beginning to feel startlingly familiar. I will start sneaking and creeping, crawling on the ground, across this brook here. Gonna move around his side here. And I will stand up, and I will strike him in his neck with my spear. A decent hit. I'm not gonna let this bastard run away either. Let's give him his leg. There we go. Yeah, he's not getting away. You know, seeing these naked goblins scouting out around Gomathzon, and then remembering those injured goblins that attacked in that first siege, makes me think that the Nightmare of Webbing likes to employ slaves. I mean, that has to be the explanation, right? Alright, he's dead. Now I guess we'll just move on. Soaked with blood. Alright, now I'm not going to go into travel mode this whole time here. It's far more interesting just staying in this mode, I think. Plus it'll give us more chances to train up our skills, killing Kias and such. Alright, now to the northeast. I'd really like to make the trip in one day too, so I'm not going to mess around too much. Stories are told of dark creatures that stalk the lands at night, sent by Ital in a fit of rage against the hero of balance. Certainly if I got attacked by something like that, I would not survive. Naked goblins and annoying parrots are one thing. Night creatures are another thing altogether. What's this here? Interesting construction here. You know, I think this is a goblin place. I hope I didn't stumble across the capital on accident. I guess it's a possibility. I better get out of here. But there is this tower here. Tower of smooth firelight. Yeah, I don't know. It seems pretty dangerous. Just one peek. Okay, well, I don't see anything. I'll head up a little bit. Ah, it's nothing. Oh boy, looking at the map, I did stumble into the capital. Up in the northwest section here. You know, I guess it wouldn't hurt to poke around a little bit, but I better be careful. A bunch of these long trenches here, leading from tower to tower. No sign of any life whatsoever. Alright guys, I'm making some bad decisions, like really doing some dumb things here. But damn that curiosity, I'll tell you. We just gotta explore. Just a quick peek. Nothing bad. I mean, I don't really see anything here anyways. All these bedrooms are empty. There's not one damn thing anywhere in here. Very strange. There's a huge chamber here. Let's walk around this edge here. What am I doing? This is not intelligent at all. Giant cavernous pits in the ground here, staring down into the yawning abyss. Kind of freaky. Alright, I tell you what, I better get out of here, huh? This is not smart. As I go farther into this dungeon. Hey now, what's all this here? This looks like an interesting place. A bunch of stuff on the ground. Troll bone earring. Troll fur bag. Troll bone figurine of a giant cave toad. That's pretty cool. I'll grab that. Troll bone bracelet. And a troll bone figurine of a minotaur. I will grab both of those. Made by goblins, I'm sure. Now, a troll bone figurine of a minotaur, that's something. In all the legends I've ever seen about this world, a minotaur's never existed. So this is truly a legendary beast. And this figurine, it's a minotaur in troll bone. It is encircled with bands of superior quality rectangular microcline cabicons, and it is adorned with hanging rings of superior quality grizzly bear bone. On the item is a finely designed image of a pigtail and large rat bone. Very interesting. And even this bracelet here, it is decorated with finely crafted raccoon bone and superior quality yak horn. This object is adorned with hanging rings of finely crafted native silver. That's pretty cool, actually. Not that I should be giving any credit to those goblins for their craftsmanship. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna put that bracelet on. There we go. Yeah, it's so strange that there are so many troll bone crafts all over the place, clearly made by goblins, but there's not a goblin in sight anywhere in the capital. Why the hell is that? Alright, I've picked up some goblin skeletons as well. I'm gonna throw those down this pit. Is that sick? That might be sick. Yeah, there we go. Alright, I'm gonna try to get out of here now. That's enough fun. But there's another large cavern here. What if I find some more neat trinkets? I am fairly greedy, right? Yeah, mostly just more troll bone crafts. Nothing too interesting. Man, it's just cavern after cavern loaded with goblin skeletons and troll bone crafts. What the hell's going on in this place? Not a sign of life anywhere. Which I guess is good. I'm really pushing my luck. Alright, that's it. I'm out of here. That's it. I'm done. Alright, I gotta go. I gotta go. No more dicking around. Well, at this point, I'm hopelessly lost. Yeah, I don't know where the hell I am. Which isn't great. Oh, here's a staircase. Alright, heading upwards. Okay, and I'm in a tower now. Okay, and we're outside again. Fantastic. It's currently raining. And I'm gonna head north. I need to get out of the capital. I got some little souvenirs, and I'm good. No reason to stay. Alright, I think that's it. I am clear of the capital. Let me check my map. Alright, I think it's to the north. Snarl Hill lies just to the northeast now. Very close. Alright, getting very close now. Just up to the northeast. I imagine I could probably see it from here. Off in the distance. Must be an interesting sight, those wooden structures. Home of the fabled hero of balance, who never leaves his citadel. Stories tell of his fall from grace after he angered the god Ital. No dwarf's been able to contact him, and so nobody's sure if it's true or not. But the world certainly still isn't balanced at this point, so that's evidence enough, I'd say. Oh, there's someone talking.
We haven't performed for some time.
I'll have to approach cautiously. I'll sneak up at a creep with my belly on the ground. Alright, I've got to be getting close, right? Oh, a beak dog skeleton. Yeah, I'd say I'm close. Oh, yeah, very close, actually. I guess we're here. There's a fire going outside this big building here. This structure seems to be filled with, caskets. Caskets filled with honey badger man skeletons. How odd. No signs of life yet. There's a long building here filled with beds. Alright, well I guess I'm gonna head into this building here. Oh, hello. There's a honey badger person here. A honey badger woman. I'll strike up a conversation, I suppose. Greetings, my name is Attis Steeldance.
Hello, dwarf. I am Moonface.
Okay, seems cordial enough. I will ask about the local ruler. Tell me about the local ruler.
The Church of Balance rules Snarlholm, the Temple of Equality. Bim Silversnarl, the rapid violator of shadows, is Lord. I don't know anything else about them.
Interesting. I can ask the listener to join me in an insurrection. I will not be doing that. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to ask about available services, drinks, rooms, etc. What's available here?
I don't work here.
Easy enough. How about the structure that I'm in? Tell me about this hall.
I don't know myself, and I don't even know anybody that could tell you.
Well, I'm not sure I'm going to get any help from you, Moonface. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, wait a second. On the ground by this honey badger person, there's a silver warhammer, as well as an iron spear, and a thin blazing metal spear. That's an interesting thing right there. Now imagine what that looks like to Attis. A thin blazing metal spear. She's never seen anything like this. She's a dwarven peasant. Has to be an amazing sight, I would imagine. Over by this throne here on the ground, we have some strange skulls, as well as the skeletons of an elf and even a human, as well as some other strange creatures. Disturbing. This Bim Silversnarl character must be very powerful. Gonna head up these stairs. Alright, looks to be a little bedroom. Nothing too remarkable in here. On this balcony here, we have another honey badger person. I'll leave them be for now. We have a small dining room here. On this table, there's a trollbone figurine of a wild boar man, next to what appears to be a finger bone. Very strange. Back down in the main hall, and you know, I'm using a copper spear, but this one looks pretty fancy, so I think I'm actually gonna take this one here. It's just sitting on the ground anyways. This thin blazing metal spear. And I'm gonna head out. Well, so much for a hero of balance. I didn't really see much of anything here. Just some useless honey badger people, some strange skulls, and a really nice spear. Well, I guess I'll take a better look around before I leave. Oh, hey now. Greetings. My name is Bim Silversnarl, the rapid violator of shadows. Oh my god. It's him, the hero of balance. Will our intrepid envoy, Attis Delermatul, be able to procure aid from the legendary hero of balance for her fortress Gomathzon? Or does this mysterious, god-spawned being have other ideas in mind? Find out in the next episode of Ageless War, Part 4 of The Legend of Steelclutches. And until then, you bearded bastards.